listening to Kane, Randy, and Brooke on Scratch the Vinyl.
Scratch the Vinyl.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to Scratch the Vinyl. You made it back for another week, and we are so glad that you did. All you boils and ghouls and creatures of the night, I am absolutely loving Rocktober as always. I'm just getting the feels every single day, and if I could bottle up this emotion and carry it with me in a necklace, I would all the time. But we can't, so we're going to try to continue on. I will tell you guys that I recently listened to the new Taylor Swift album. And before you guys, before the Swifties pile on me, or before you guys who are anti Taylor Swift want to bash me, I did this in a scientific way. I want to bring the other hosts on because I want to talk to them about this thing. So before I get into it too much, let's bring on the Godzilla of karaoke entertainment and I don't know, just good vibes all around. Everybody's uncle, Uncle Randy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Kane. I will say the other day, I was setting up for one of my shows, and somebody walked in after listening to the episode last week and says, "Hey, what's up, Godzilla?"
It's catching on, man. That's when you know people are paying attention when they start shouting back some of the things that we say.
I think one of them then said, "Is that what you're going to go as Halloween?" I'm like, "Oh man, this is getting crazy already."
Well, let's bring in our other host too. I don't want her to wait too long. She's here. She's in the flesh, and she's at her place or in my closet, one of the two. But she is on the show. She's the red lipped lady, and she is one of our favorite gals around. We love her so much. Brooke Johnson, welcome back to the show.
Hi, Kane. Thank you. And I keep getting cauldrons at my doorstep. People keep bringing them in and dropping them off. I'm like, you guys, I need more. Let's do more and more and more. And then thanks, Kane, for that shout out for my witchy behavior, which this is my favorite month and my favorite holiday. And I love your decorations. I saw you on Facebook. You did a pretty badass job.
Well, it does stand to mention for those of you watching here on video, is I do have another special guest here in the studio. We talk about him all the time. He's sitting back here. He's waiting. It's Fred the Skeleton. Fred, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you.
Right, yeah. I'll do hand puppet motions and eventually I'll have a string and I'll make him talk, right? But yeah, Fred's just kind of maxing and chillaxing. I got another skeleton at the store the other day. I couldn't believe it. I'm always trying to talk my wife into letting me be one of those yards that has 38 skeletons doing all sorts of stuff. But I can't ever get her to pull the trigger on it. But I finally got her at Target the other day. We had I don't know, some sort of coupon or something. So I got one for $7. So we couldn't resist. So I have Ed the Skeleton, who I'm sure will appear in the other chair one of these days.
I love it. It looks like he has a question. Excuse me, where's my mate? Well, she's 6 feet under. Sorry, Fred. We'll go get her later.
I'm going to give a big shout out to, I don't know if she listens to the show, but I have invited her, Jen, if you're out there. Jen used to make our house Halloween. That was her thing. She had more Halloween decorations than Christmas. And we had a coffin. We had the whole thing. It was her favorite time of the year. So I hope she's listening. Jen, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, Jen. It sounds like you're my type of people where we wish that we could live in this not winter wonderland, but autumn wonderland all year long. So so I'm going to post my question to you guys. I don't know if you guys listened to the new Taylor Swift album, but I did, and I listened to it cover to cover, everybody, and that was like, ooh, I had to do it. I wanted to see what all the hype was about. The album is The Life of a Showgirl, and I gotta say, I have some ideas on what I thought about it, but I want to hear from you guys. So, Randy, I'll ask you first. Did you get a chance to check out the new Taylor Swift album?
So I didn't listen to it from front to back like you did. I kind of listened to at least a little bit of about 7 songs. And I will say my biggest takeaway right away was 80% of it sounded the same. I thought some of it was good. I thought some of the lyrics and the writing was good, but I had the feel like I could have dropped the needle anywhere on the album and I wouldn't have known what song it was.
Man, I can actually hear marching outside our doors right now, and I can hear the pitchforks kind of clanking against each other. The Swifties are coming.
I didn't say it was bad. I just said it was all the songs seem very similar. It was hard for me to pick out one that I was like, wow, that's really good. Or I don't know. That's my quick take, I'm afraid.
Well, Randy, I'd have to agree with you. Um, I love Taylor as a person. I love her. Oh no, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. But I do. I love her. I love what she does. I mean, this is her 15th number one album, so she's doing something right. Just wasn't my bag, but I love her. I do love a lot of her songs, but I agree, they kind of all sounded the same. I didn't listen to front and back though, so I guess, maybe I need to give it a little bit more time, but yeah.
Well, Kane, did you find a hidden gem?
I I really didn't. I mean, I feel bad because it's not like I'm an oh I it's not because I'm a rock guy. It's not because of this and that, because I can listen to any album and find something great out of it. I like the hooks in different songs, but I felt like I was just kind of getting sucked into the whole thing, right? Like the whole pop thing where you just get sucked into parts of it. So there was nothing that really stood out to me as other than I mean, obviously the production was fantastic, but it should be, right? And I
Well,
do get why people dig it. I mean, I really do. And the reason I get it is because I there's some meaningful lyrics in there. There's some just a lot on the bone. And if you like that sound and if you like that same thing that Taylor Swift does, you're gonna love this album. And obviously
well,
you did. They sold it at a rate of what 2.7 million albums sold in one day. I mean, that's gotta be up there in the record books, right?
yes, and I don't know where the source is to this, but I 'cause I can't remember where I was reading it, but I think she has, like, her video or there's a movie or a video that goes along with it, and it was in theaters, and so you could go and watch the entire album, but it was like a music video kind of, but it all entailed into a story. So maybe the visual part of it would be badass to go watch and see it. So I don't know if maybe that's what she was going for a little more.
I mean, I'm watching the Ed Gaines story right now, and I think it'd be killer to turn the sound down and listen to all of Taylor Swift's album every time I watch that. That would be so interesting to me.
I that would be really cool, actually. I would do that. I would definitely watch the Ed Games. I'm watching the same thing, and it's
Well,
pretty creepy.
well, that comes to a good point though, right? Like she's not being controlled by the industry telling her what she has to put out, right? She's just putting out authentic music, right?
She absolutely is. So you're correct on that, Randy. I mean, what she's doing isn't wrong, and I mean, she's doing everything right in the industry, and she's kind of doing it her way.
So we could leave that on a positive note, Swifties.
I like your thought process. We punt, everybody punt, and make sure that the Swifties are happy.
I mean, Kane, let's be honest. If we could get a handful of Swifties on the show, we might grow Scratch the Vinyl to new heights.
I would like to change what I said to I absolutely loved it. I I loved everything about it. They're on every playlist now. It's my new favorite song, and I want to embrace Swifties as if they were my own family.
Have you seen the new thing where they take old songs and they convert them to a different genre?
Yeah,
What if we converted Taylor Swift songs to metal?
I think it'd be fantastic.
Would that improve?
It might improve it, but or it depends on how it's done, though, right? It might still
Maybe
be boring.
maybe just for Halloween, just maybe.
I'm thinking ska. Let's do ska. Let's make Taylor like or even like reggae. I think that'd be pretty cool. I don't know. Go Chiefs.
Well, it's definitely worth talking about. Now we've got to kind of flip the record here and scratch it a little bit and move our way down because we have an awesome guest on our hands. Everybody, we have another great guest. We had a killer. Um, just I don't know, kind of like a spiritual return from people on listening to last week's episode. People loved it. Those that have been affected by breast cancer. I mean, people have been responding really well to that episode with my friend Jen Scott. I don't know. This will be the perfect episode to follow because I think that's what we're doing here at Scratch the Vinyl is we're trying to talk about healing when it comes to music because to be honest with you, music is the only thing that healed me and it's not anybody's fault or anything. Maybe it's just my mental makeup, but it's what got me through all of the worst times. So, we have an awesome guest on our hands. He is a vet. He is currently working with a program that teaches veterans to play music and kind of giving back to them through creativity to help them as therapy through their lives. So let's bring him on right now. Our guest is Bryan Carroll. Bryan, how are you?
Doing great, Kane. Thanks for having me on. Really excited to do this podcast for you guys.
Well, I see your hat there, and I definitely want to talk about it. So the company that you are affiliated with, or I don't know, I shouldn't call it company, but whatever the organization you're with is the Heroes Encore organization. So can you kind of before we kind of backtrack into your past, let's talk about what is the Heroes Encore.
Heroes Encore, we're a veteran-run nonprofit charity. Just basically, yeah, like you mentioned, just kind of centered around the healing power of music, finding veterans, that aren't having the best circumstances in their life necessarily, or other veterans as well too that just need something in their life to kind of recenter themselves, and just music is a great way to do that. So we're bringing them in to start learning to play guitar. Besides learning guitar, we're also getting into songwriting, vocal lessons, and then as they move through the program, we're giving them a guitar and like a little Fishman amp, so then they can actually go out and perform. So it's kind of all of just taking just this raw veteran coming out of the service and being able to turn them into a performer.
And that's amazing. I mean, I can't think of a better way to give back. I mean, I hate how our veterans are treated in a lot of different ways. I mean, and that's a separate podcast altogether, but I absolutely love what you guys are doing. And it's not just the music tie. I mean, you guys are helping people that are real life heroes. I mean, you guys are doing the things that those of us who didn't serve have no idea what you could have possibly gone through and you're giving back to these people. So can I ask you then let's talk about you musically. Why did you choose to do this? Like what has music done for you through your life? And then we'll kind of rewind from there and see how you got started.
Yeah, music for me is just kind of like a way to emote. Like I kind of see myself as like the way I see the world is just kind of black and white. And my wife will tell you that she has no idea what I'm feeling because I'm just kind of stony face. But like through music, I feel like I can really kind of emote and create moods and atmospheres and everything that really just kind of helps connect me in other ways that I just normally wouldn't. Just kind of really help uh, through my healing process. There's just certain songs that you just need at the right moment, at the right time to just kind of pull you out of, just a kind of funk you're in. And there's like songs, like I found like along the road too, that like that's the song that you needed to hear at like just the right time to kind of pull you out. But, it's just music just so dictates your mood, like when you need a party song or when you need a angry song when the Huskers lose and you need to punch a hole in the drywall, and when your friends aren't looking, then yeah, you can enjoy the new Taylor Swift album.
You know, go Swifties. Let's do it.
Ahoy, mateys! Christopher Columbus here. You know me. I discovered America, or at least that's what the history books have been saying for years. Anyways, I have a little confession to make. My compass quit halfway through the trip, and I got lost at sea on the way there.
Ahoy, Captain. What direction should we point the boat?
Shut up, you fool. I'm in the middle of a commercial here. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yes. When we arrived on land there, the natives were all decked out in their cool Viking gear. They said these big, smelly, bearded guys came, hung out, then split with all their cool stuff.
Hi, it was a weird day.
That could have been our cool stuff. We could have claimed all this great treasure and all this pirate's plunder.
But sir, how will we steer the boat if we don't have a compass?
Well, this next trip is going to be different. I'm heading to Slying Tattoo to get a compass on my hand. After that, everything is coming up Christopher Columbus.
Ahoy, sir. That new ink looks great on you. After I swaps the poop deck and grease the hootenannies, I think we're gonna be back to spin and... Oh, no.
What is it now, you buffoon?
It appears as if America's shores are just on the horizon.
What? How could this be? I've been pointing my arm in the same direction for days. Well, looks like this tattoo compass is broken too. Guess I'll have to head back to Sly Ink for that dolphin lower back tattoo I've been wanting to get. Well, looks like our native friends are waving us in, but oh, wait, they don't look very happy. Well, until next time, friends, if there is one.
Bryan, I know that I have family and I have friends that have served in different branches and have, done wonderful things for our country. And music has helped them tremendously. And I know you were about 12 years old when you started playing the guitar.
Yeah, I started learning guitar from my grandpa. He played back in the day, and he was trying to teach me a song, "Beautiful Brown Eyes." I still don't know how to play it, but that's the song I got started on. On just like every kid started on just like your old classical acoustic with the action super high with the nylon strings. That's just kind of what I started jamming on, and my dad was into music as well too. He had his weekend buddies that he jammed with in the basement, rocking out some rock tunes, and that really just kind of got me into music. And then just kind of found my own way through music. When I grew up, I listened to like a lot of the '90s country, so like your Randy Travis, Garth Brooks, and all that. And then I definitely was one of the grunge kids, like hearing Nirvana. The stereotypical story you hear just kind of opened my eyes that, oh, there's a whole nother genre of music I should enjoy. And then just my music taste from there just kind of bloomed all over the place. Like when you look at my the music I listen to, you think I have attention deficit syndrome because it's just all over the place. But it's just I enjoy just all kinds of music and everything. Like my iTunes at its peak, I had like over 80,000 songs in my iTunes. Is like more than I could ever listen to in a lifetime, but it's just just the way I was with music and everything. And then just started learning different songs through that. And then just like every other kid in high school, when you have buddies, you got to put a band together. My younger brother, he plays guitar as well too. He's a little bit better than me, but I don't tell that to his face. Uh, and then we had a really great drummer. He was the kind of drummer that if he would have gone to like Nashville or something, he definitely could have made it big, but he just stayed local and everything. He's just so good. He's one of those guys inspired by John Bonham and Keith Moon, and he just definitely exhibited those behaviors as well too. Just all around fun guy to play with. And then just kind of stayed with music off and on throughout the years. Just pick it up like when I was a guy that I'd hear something like really clever in a song and be like, oh man, I need to learn how to play that. And I just kind of play like that. And then finally getting into Heroes Encore, it's the first time like I've like, okay, I need to buckle down and actually learn how to play a whole song instead of just little snippets. Oh, and I need to keep rhythm and time. There's a lot more to it than you think, but it's really cool because it's just learning a whole new discipline about something I already love.
Well, first up, Bryan, I want to say thank you for your service. And my family, I come from a long line of people that have served, and so I I do appreciate it, and I know a lot of our listeners do too. And maybe could you tell us a little bit about your time serving, and then how you got to this point?
Yeah, I was a guy that I joined after high school. I started going to college, and I hit a point that I didn't want to take out student loans. So it's like, well, the National Guard, is always looking for people. And I had buddies that had already joined the Nebraska Army National Guard, so that's what I decided to do. And I fell into a job that I just absolutely loved. I was a Black Hawk helicopter mechanic based out of Lincoln. So when you see the helicopters flying over Lincoln, that's probably my old unit. And I just loved it. I just just love fixing things, tinkering with things. My guitars don't appreciate it, but um, and then I got to fly as a crew chief as well too. And then we got to do a lot of state active duty missions. Probably the most fun one was Shattering had really bad fires. That's probably about like 12 years ago, I think. We were out there for about a week, dumping water on the fires out there. And then we've had other like flood rescue missions that I wasn't able to take part on. But that stuff is just super rewarding and everything. And everyone's just so appreciative of the things that we do. And then I had two deployments to Iraq, one in 2004, and those are about year rotations. So I was there from 2004 to 2005 for the third rotation going through Iraq. And then my deployed one more time to Iraq in 2010, 2011 again. And that was as the war was kind of shutting down. So we were shutting down the northern sector of Iraq. And we were a medevac unit. So we were one of the last assets to be there. So we were just kind of following behind everybody as, they were closing up shop. And then I would have deployed one more time in 2017, 2018 to Afghanistan. But that chapter of my life closed just because I had started coping with alcohol really bad to deal with the PTSD issues that I was dealing with, and started getting in trouble with the law because of that too. And those combinations don't really keep you in the service. So I ended up at the end of my service contract in 2018, and they just kind of sent me on my way with the honorable discharge. And I didn't really know what I was going to do with my life after that, but I did end up, I'm on VA disability now because of the stuff that I've gone through. And then I just really didn't have a direction until Heroes Encore kind of came along. But it's, and looking back at my military service, if I could change anything, I absolutely wouldn't. I'd do it all over again. I had a blast doing it. I miss those guys doing it. And, I had to deal with a lot of issues because of it. But, where I'm at in my life right now, it's like, I feel like I'm like the best version of myself right now.
Well, it's definitely not easy, Brian. I mean, I know I've been pretty honest with people about I dealt with my depression and issues by over drinking and doing all of that. Now I had to, luckily for me and unluckily, I had to get sober because of my heart issues, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Like people always say to me, like, well, what did your heart problems do to you? Like, are you bummed out? Are you this? No, because I now I get to hang out with my family all the time. I get to be there for them. I'm not drinking, every moment that I get. And so how was it getting out of that? Did music help you or what did you do, I guess, to try to get out of alcoholism?
Just about everything is, I needed to, but it's just when you're just taking a substance that just makes you feel normal, in your head anyway. It's just so hard to, break away from that. Because yeah, the alcoholic I was, just like the Happy Gilmore movie where he's drinking out of everything. That was me. I had liquor stashed everywhere. It was because I was just trying to stay drunk just 24/7 to try and maintain that kind of feeling. But when you're consuming liquor, it's just so easy to overdo it. So it never worked out. In your head, you always have this plan, like, yeah, this is going to work this time, but you just keep reliving that cycle over and over again, and it's just so hard to break away from it. Just to you get to points where you just are just absolutely hopeless because like the whole world wants you to get sober, but you just can't see it, so you just kind of end up stuck. And I hate to say it too, but the way I try to find my way out of it is like, I try to commit suicide to try and get out of it. And, it's just the lazy way of doing it. I could have gotten sober, but, it's just a mindset you get stuck in. Um, but, there's good music too when you get stuck in that kind of depression to listen to. I didn't put on black eyeliner and turn into an emo kid or anything. But, um, no, it is, there's songs out there that just, kind of give you hope and just kind of show you that bright light in the darkness that you're just putting yourself through. And, that was twice that I did that. So I'm, truly grateful that I wasn't successful in that. And I know my uh excuse me. I know my family absolutely is too. Because yeah, I hate that my wife had to come home to me trying to cut my wrist, and I had to call the paramedics for that. So for her to walk in on that was just absolutely devastating to me. To Because you never want to put your family through something like that, and it's just through alcoholism and addiction, you just put the ones you love the most through just some of the worst stuff, and you just make yourself okay with it by just getting, drinking more and everything. It's just a vicious cycle. And it really was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do to pull myself out of it.
Well, first off, I want to tell you thanks for being brutally honest with us. And I hope people out there that are listening can understand that we can all feel at times where we're depressed and we don't know quite what we're dealing with. And sometimes we, unfortunately, I've had too many experiences with that with other friends that did not turn out very well. And so I was looking for your point of where you kind of hit rock bottom, and maybe did you have, was there a real epiphany that you had to say, man, I gotta stop, or did you just you need your family around you to kind of pull you out of this?
I wish I hit, like a better rock bottom or something that just made more sense in my head, but it took um, getting a DUI in Sarpy County that would have been a felony DUI, um, and looking at actual prison time. And I don't know why, of all the things that, needed to happen in my life, but that was the one thing that, finally, sitting in jail there in Sarpy County, it's just like, having that epiphany, having that spiritual moment, that realization that, there's more to my life than what I'm doing. Because when I originally got to jail, I just assumed that was it. My life was going to be over. I was going to lose the house that I just bought. I was going to lose my wife, my kids. I was going to do my prison time and then just get out and just live off the streets like a worthless alcoholic, and probably just be one of those veterans that just ended up drinking themselves to death. When I was in jail, I heard about a program that was just starting up in Sarpy County called the Veteran Treatment Court. So, in lieu of going through the system as I would have, it's more of like a probation program and a rehabilitation program. So they find ways to get veterans into the therapy that they need. If they're homeless, get them housing, getting them a place to live, getting them back into work and everything. Kind of scoff at reformative justice sometimes, in the past, but going through it myself now, I absolutely open to my eyes about the necessities of reformative justice, because I wouldn't be the person that I am today without it. Yeah, spent 2 years time in the veteran treatment court program. I went through various treatments through the VA for inpatient for alcohol treatment. Unfortunately, I got kicked out of several of them because I just could not quit drinking. But this last time I went through, I was finally able to just open up with my counselor and just get brutally honest with the PTSD issues that I was suffering from. It's just stuff that you don't want to talk about. But, for some people, it's just, I'll use this cliche, you're as sick as your secrets. And just some of that stuff that you hold on to, it just keeps making you sick. But, I was finally able to let go of that and get the therapy I needed, get on the medication that I needed as well too. And it's just my head's just been so much clearer since going through that. I mean, and it is traumatizing going through that, but it was just absolutely necessary for me. And then I just graduated that program a couple months ago, and then I'm still staying on as an alumni because there's other veterans in that program that I've come to just see and know and love, and I just want to see them succeed that the way I have because I want to see the best in those guys too.
Well, first off, I'm a huge advocate for veteran support, and so I love the part where I'm glad you really got help, and obviously moving forward, you know, being part of the Heroes Encore, you're now making a difference and helping other people find that same path. And so, if nothing else, going through all the tribulations that you've gone through, at least now you've put it in perspective and you're really trying to help other people. And I think that's just great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely. I just want to say to you, Brian, I'm so glad that you're here today with us. I'm so glad to be here today, and it really is an honor to have you on the show. I mean, to be so candid, to come out and say the things that you said. I think that this type of thing really helps people. I think that there is always going to be some person out there where that mindset didn't dawn on them, and so you know, I don't know if you ever. I sometimes wonder to myself, am I helping anybody with conversations like this? But I think that we really are. So I appreciate you for that, and I'm so glad you're here with us. I too want to thank you for your service. I have a family of veterans of people who have throughout American history have been a part of the military in my family, like Randy, and it's just so refreshing to talk to people like yourself. So let's dig into a little bit more of this program now. Let's talk about so you guys are helping veterans with some of their issue, and you're teaching them music and creativity. What's your role in the program, and tell us a little bit more of like how long it's been going on and what you guys have coming up next.
Yeah, absolutely. Heroes Encore just hit about 1 year. We stemmed off of there's another national program that kind of does the same thing. But Heroes Encore is specific to Omaha. So program is supported through charitable donations. If you're familiar with the 50-mile march charity program, it's a veterans program. They march from Lincoln and then end up at Nebraska Brewing Company to raise awareness for veterans. He gave the seed money to our the gal running the program, Taylor Olam. She's just absolutely fantastic. She's an Air Force veteran that struggles with PTSD too, and she's the one that kind of started this program in Omaha. And then after the previous program ran out, she didn't know what she was going to do, but the 50-mile march gave her the seed money to start this new Heroes Encore program. And she just was trying to find veterans to help keep this program. She's had another Air Force veteran, a guy named Dave Mike, with her. He's a phenomenal guitarist, excellent instructor. He's going to put me through the ringer here soon, learning some music theory, which I usually like to close my eyes and hope for the best, but I got to throw some theory into it now. But no, I'm excited for that. Um, and then I came on as an instructor. I've taught guys guitar, throughout the years, throughout the Army, because when you're deployed, you don't have a lot of things to do, and I always managed to find a guitar to keep myself busy, and other guys would, of course, want to figure that out too. So, I just kind of got into this program, not really knowing what to expect. They're like, "Yeah, you're going to start teaching a guy." It's like, okay, we'll see how this goes. But no, it's been fun. Uh, Getting into it and like actually having a direction instead of like, hey, how do you play this song, or how do you play this song, but actually going through the fundamentals and everything. It's just really making me really work, and that's something that I absolutely need. um, and then we also do charitable performances, like at the VA hospital up in Omaha. We do a little gig up there every Wednesday and play for the veterans up there. And then same, there's a veteran rehab center down in Papillion that we play at as well too. And then this afternoon there's a retirement home called Hillcrest here in Papillion that I'm going to play with some other guys. So we do have performances. So these guys coming in as they start learning music, then we get to put them out there for some trial by fire, so to say. So they actually get that live experience and everything, because it's a whole different beast. It's a whole different kind of stress, but it's a good controlled stress. You know, when you're a veteran and you're kind of used to dealing with different kinds of stress, and just being able to kind of experience that again, you know, kind of get your head in the game. It is, you know, I live for that. um, and then we just finished up our phase one for Heroes Encore. Phase one is just doing the guitar instruction. Uh, so we have about 12 weeks with each student, and it kind of went on to, can't remember how many lessons I had ended up with my student, but showing on the ropes and everything and getting them to learn a song. And then we have a partnership with the Omaha Performing Arts. So for our graduation ceremony for our students, we just graduated 12 or 13 new students. We were able to host our graduation at the Holland Performing Arts Center in downtown Omaha. So they got, you know, just kind of like a grand stage to kind of do their graduation performance. And then next, we're moving into phase two, which is a songwriting portion. And then we're using writing better lyrics, if you're familiar with this at all. So we're going through that all together and everything, and having these writing groups and everything to come up with songs. And that'll be our phase two. And then phase three will kick off, and that's when they'll have their amplifier. And then we'll, with the Holland Performing Arts Center, we'll be able to use they're calling it the Tanaska Center, which is connected to the building, and it's music technology building. So it's stage, lighting, sound. So we'll actually be able to like put on like a full performance, full stage show and everything through stage three. So it's still kind of a learning experience being the first year with these, but it's just, so far, it's just like all the right doors have been opened us. Finding the right sponsors. You know, we just played last weekend at the Yeti store out in Gretna Crossing. They partnered with us. We're partnered with the Military Veteran Service Center off of Bellevue University. And we have pretty much no overhead because all our office space is out of that Military Veteran Service Center on Bellevue University. So we get a partner with the Military Veteran Service Center. And that's just, like I said, a cool relationship because we get all the office space, practice space that we need at no cost. So it just makes all our charitable donations that are basically all going to the students, which is really cool. You know, so because a lot of these charities have just so much overhead and everything, but we have none because we're all veterans. You know, we just want to see each other succeed.
If somebody wanted to get into this program, or if they wanted to make a difference and volunteer or donate, where can we go to find that information?
We have a website up and running. It's heroesencore.org. And there's a lot of information on the website. When you pull up the website, you'll see me and my buddy Jake playing music in the back of an El Camino. We played in the Omaha Patriotic Parade this spring. It was a ton of fun. But as you scroll through the page towards the bottom, there's a information box there. So if you're a student, an instructor, you can fill your information out there, and that'll go to Taylor. And then also for anyone that wants to donate to the program, they partner with a program called Give Butter. And Give Butter, it's just so they can electronically track donations. And Give Butter only takes like 3%, I think, of the donations, and just of all the charitable programs, that's just one of the cheapest out there to use. And then also, if anyone's looking for performances too, they can put in their information too, and then we'll go out and play for you. We'll do it for free, but food helps.
Well, it'd be fantastic to bring you guys to Lincoln one of these days. You know, get you guys here. Just kind of get people around the same idea. It sounds like you guys are mostly in Omaha, correct?
Yeah, a lot of our partnership is around Omaha, and they actually tried branching out into Lincoln a while ago, but it was just too hard to try and with the logistics and everything to try and get that set up. So just right now, our focus is kind of around the Omaha area.
Well, I feel like we could get a scratch the vinyl event going. What do you guys think?
Oh, absolutely, that sounds fun.
I would love that. And I love that you told people how they can kind of get a hold of. I'm glad Brooke asked the question that was on my mind, which was, for I do beginner guitar instructions for people because, give them the fundamentals early to do so. I don't know. I would definitely love to help, and I'm sure there's people out there who would love to help veterans learn how to play music, maybe structure a song and all of that. So that's fantastic.
Out in the wild, there's one creature feared by hunters, admired by lumberjacks, and envied by hipsters.
Yeah, it's me, the elegant Sasquatch, and let me tell you, these locks don't tame themselves.
Introducing the Elegant Sasquatch Grooming Company. Beard oils, butters, and washes so good, they'll make your face smell like you wrestled a cedar tree while sipping fine whiskey.
Last week, a hiker followed me for 3 miles just to ask what cologne I was wearing. Joke's on him, I don't wear cologne. I wear the gentleman.
Upgrade your beard game. Sophisticate your outer beast. Find the Elegant Sasquatch Grooming Company at elegantsasquatchco.etsy.com.
And stop stealing my jerky!
Let's switch gears here. I know that the show is moving very rapidly, but it looks to me by the way you described it with your 80,000 songs on iTunes, it sounds like you consume music like I do, my friend. You kind of got the old Satan's jukebox thing going on where you could listen to Taylor Swift in one song and then here comes Easy E creeping in right behind her, and then maybe we got some Slipknot after that. So I'll ask everybody on this one. I like to play this game now and then. I'll call it the earworm game. I don't know what everybody's got for an earworm lately, but I'm going to ask you, Brian, is there something that you've really been burning up your ears lately that you've just been listening to nonstop?
Actually, it just kind of came. Let's see if I can find it here real quick. It just came randomly across Amazon for some reason, my Amazon Music, and I think I saved it. Army Dreamers by Kate Bush. It's just a really has just I don't know. It's just kind of like a little eccentric and everything, and like her lyrics are higher pitched and everything, but it was like I hadn't heard anything like that, and it just like really just kind of got my gears turning. Like, well, this is a really interesting song. So now I got to go down the Kate Bush Kate Bush hole and see what other songs I can dig out because yeah, it's just that's how it is, how my brain works. It's like when I hear something, it's like, well, now I need more of that. So.
I could tell you mine this week, Kane.
Let's hear. I'm dying to know, Randy. Honest.
So don't ask me why, but I I was just going along and I heard New Age Girl by Dead Eye Dick. And for some reason that motivated me to try that song in karaoke this last week. And I did it like 3 times. I don't think I did it justice any one of the times, but for some reason it just took me back a little bit. And I love that song. It's just catchy.
It is, I love when that happens. I love when you hear one of those songs and it's been a while and then it hits you and like you're all of a sudden obsessed with it again.
Uh, I can't even say the word. There's it's a tongue twister song. That's why it's kind of fun, but what rhymes with vegetarian?
Mortian vegetarian. Carrot.
What about you, Brooke? What have you been listening to this week that's got you?
Well, I found this one, and I know it's been around, but the Waylon Jennings, Wildflowers. I don't know. That was a nice little jam that I found, and I listened to it over and over again. Like my kids always say, "Mom, we've heard it 80 times already." That's why records are so difficult because I got to go over and put the thing back on. But yeah, that's been mine. That's hard to say too.
Plus, I'm going to give a shout out to my big crew that came out Saturday night. I did the whole bar get up and do "We Are the World."
Oh, I missed it.
You weren't there, but every once in a while we'll have one of those Saturday nights where like almost all the really good singers are there, And somebody said something. I said, well, it's been about 2 years since we've done it. And everybody, yeah, let's do it. And we broke out into, feeding the world again.
I probably would have been crying and making an ass of myself. I love that song. We could just do a whole tribute to.
Well, the chorus goes a little long. After you sing it like 10 times in a row, you're like, when is this going to end? But yeah, it's it was definitely a crowd pleaser for Saturday night. And if you don't mind, Brooke, I'd like to give a shout out to Big Dan for having to bartend by himself Saturday night down at Kelly's, because everybody else got to go to uh, Coriel and Jackson's wedding. So big shout out to Coriel and Jackson. We love those guys. And
Oh, it was beautiful. They had vinyls everywhere. You signed a vinyl instead of a book. And then they had all these CDs behind you that you can take pictures with. Like it was, you would have had a blast there. It was great. And poor Dan, we sent him all the pictures and videos. Some of them, yeah, hopefully he doesn't share them. But we had a good time, and Coriel looked beautiful. Jackson was beautiful as well. We didn't stay too late, so we didn't get to see the shenanigans later on. But yeah, it was a beautiful time. So yeah, we love you guys.
Brooke, you're amongst those people that actually get invited to weddings. Well, you too, Randy. I wonder what that's like. Like, unless it's like my family where I have to be invited, then nobody invites me anywhere, man. I really am the middle-aged pervert that we talked about. Nobody really wants me there.
They do, kid, but I think your wife might just hide the invitation because she's like, another one, another one. You're gonna find a box full of invitations one of these days.
well, in all honesty, they did invite me, and they knew. They asked me. They go, "You're probably having to work," and I think that's always the tragedy for me, is the bulk of my shows and the bulk of what I do is on Friday and Saturday nights. So it's hard for me to get away to all of them. And they definitely would have been, they're definitely special enough people in my life that I would have taken a night off. But in retrospect, it's probably a good thing I did, because Dan was buried, and we of course had a great night. And I was getting a lot of the pictures from your sister, and so shout out to Ingrid for sending all the great pics from the wedding. And we couldn't wish them the best. They're just great people. And of course, we've had Coriel on the show here before, and you know, just a shout out to our peeps.
Definitely. Shout out to you, Coriel. I mean, it's cool. I was just at home polishing the old skeletons, you know, like just shining them up and everything. But it's all right. And no, that's not a sexual innuendo, Brooke, but it could be.
It definitely is. I mean, look at Fred. He still has that damn question. Does it have something to do with, are you scared, Fred? Are you getting polished too much, Fred? I'll come save you, Fred. I'll meet you in the closet. Love you, Fred.
Well, Brian, of course, Brian's like, I don't know anything about what they're talking about right now. But Brian, I just want to say before we get out of here, like, it's so refreshing, you know, to, you know, to be, you're just so brutally honest about what you've been through. And we know, I think that what I'm trying to get at is, you're not alone. I'm glad you made it through the hard part. And man, I can't think of nothing better than how you're giving back, because it is kind of the premise to our show. And we do talk about a lot, that what music can do for us, how it can help us through the toughest times. And I, from personal experience, not that long ago, I got into some songwriting, and it was designed for me to find a way to get out how I was feeling kind of during a depressing time. And honestly, I pretty much only share that with a couple people, and Kane has listened to it. And you know, I don't know if I'll ever share some of that music, but I felt so much better afterwards. Like, it was just a way to get it out. And I hope people listening to this, and the people you're working with understand that it's such a valuable tool to help us cope with with all the things that we're dealing with in life.
It's been really inspiring listening to you, because I know there's a lot of people out there that need help and they need guidance. And you are a wonderful advocate for all of that to help people that really need it. And I've been pretty close to people that would have benefited from it. And thank you for your service in all aspects of your life. We really appreciate it. And we're so happy that you're on this planet. You are saving so many people. And I mean, since you were 12, it was kind of begun your life to help people. And thank you for that so very much.
Yeah, it's so hard to hear those stories, but it's so important to hear those stories. I know we kind of like kind of lighten it up after all of that a little bit. Maybe like we always do, kind of get off the rails. But I just want to, now that we're back on, I just want to say, Brian, it is refreshing and it is amazing hearing your story. It does make a difference, and yes, we're so glad that you're here. If there's people out there who are on the ledge, and I've been on the ledge so many times, I just want to say that you're right, Randy. You're not alone. There are people here. You can always get a hold of us. I mean, I know that sounds crazy. If you just want to talk to a stranger, if you're just if you have no one to talk to, feel free to email us at scratchthevinylpodcast@gmail.com. I won't ever make you feel crazy. I know Brooke won't. None of us will. We will talk to you guys, and we'll try to share the gift of music with you like our guest is doing. So, Brian, in closing, I haven't done this in a while. Do you have any closing thoughts for us? Kind of like Jerry's final thoughts. Do you have anything for the listeners before we go here?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll say, it's getting to be fall, and that's when, people tend to kind of shut out and isolate. But, you just got to keep reaching out to people and everything, because you don't want to close off the world. Yeah, it's just easy to kind of get stuck in a rut. But yeah, and when you do, yeah, you just, humans, we just need to interact with people. We're social animals. So you just got to pick up that 1,000-pound phone and, reach out to, somebody, just have a little chat. And yeah, just do the, hey, I heard the song and I'm thinking of you kind of deal. I do that to people all the time. um, and yeah, just it's hard sometimes too, but you just got to be kind of cognizant of your mental health, and how you're feeling and how you're acting around other people, because the more you're aware of that and everything, and having that emotional IQ, the better you can kind of self-diagnose and self-treat and everything.
Well, Brian, we have a whole group chat that does that. So
There you go.
we we constantly send whatever we're listening to each other, just to kind of, and I think that always kind of dictates what mood we're in. And I I always I think I always know how Kane's doing based on what he sends me that day. And if I feel it necessary, I do call him just to check on him to make sure he's okay. But man, before we get out of here, again, thank you for what you're doing. And we're going to help you get that message out. And again, all of our Scratch the Vinyl listeners, we just brought you another great episode with a great guest that's making a difference in music. So
Oh,
thanks
hey,
again,
one more
Brian.
thing before I go.
Yeah,
Can I share one of my favorite music lyrics?
absolutely.
From Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
Can't think of a better way to end than that with a wonderful lyric. I do love that. But thank you so much, Brian, for being on the show. And for those of you guys listening, go to heroesencore.org and donate to them. If you have time to donate or help, please do so and just check that out. And for the rest of you guys, for all the Scratchaholics out there, we provided yet another great guest, and we proved to you guys once again why music is the only medicine. So thank you guys for tuning in. We will talk to you guys again and catch you on the flip side here on
Scratch the Vinyl.
All right, all you Scratchaholics and Scratchamaniacs out there, it is me, your neighborhood friendly luchador. That's right. It's El Podcastico taking over the end of this show and talking about all of the sponsors. I am in rare championship mode as always. I'm ready to take on the competition. I'm ready to tell you guys exactly what we have going on with all of our amazing sponsors. So let's start with Lil Bill's Barbecue. Lil Bill's Barbecue you can find on Facebook Marketplace. It is the best place around to go for localized barbecue sauce. It is the best sauce, the best 8 sauces I've ever had in my life. I've got a couple of them right here. Look at this. I've got the spicy one. Oh yes, we love spicy. Spicy is very good. It makes me feel so right. And then we got the original right here, Lil Bill's original barbecue sauce. This stuff is so good. I would literally drink it, and I have been. I've been chugging it by the bucket loads, and obviously it's helping me out. I mean, here I am. I'm jacked. I'm ready for the ring. I'm ready for anyone to take me on. Ask my skeleton buddies over here. Ed's holding one of my other belts because it's just getting too heavy to hold all these belts. So Lil Bill's Barbecue, I'm telling you guys, you will not want to miss out on this. So get a hold of them exclusively on Facebook Marketplace. Next, we have Roots Music Shop. I've got all these instruments in here. And to be honest with you, pretty much all the equipment that I have here, I probably have gotten at Roots in some way, shape, or form. I buy there, I trade there, I sell there. Heck, I even worked there for a stint. I love it. It's not like serving a stint in Folsom Prison. It is so much better than that. Ryan treated me great, and he always treats me great every time I go there. And I just, any questions I have, any instrument repairs that I need, I go to them for that. So go to Roots Music Shop, Backtrack Records. This is a record podcast, everybody. And we're not lying to you guys. We're actually listening to these things. We're actually popping these things on the old turntable. So go to Backtrack Records. I challenge you, yes, you, the listener out there, I challenge you to try to get those records before I do. I am searching those bins. I'm digging through it. I'm going through the best of the best and the worst of the worst. I'm getting disco. I'm getting country. I'm getting everything that you could think of. And if I win the lottery, I can assure you that I will buy that place up. I mean, I am in such a mood right now. I mean, I am furious for those savings over there at Backtrack Records. They do nothing but the best for me, and I know they'll do it for you. So check it out. Go to Backtrack Records. Fred and Ed always go with me. So if I'm in there and I got the 2 skeletons with me, watch out because it's going to be a wild ride. We have American Senior Benefits. American Senior Benefits is also championship level like myself. They have Jason Dugash, the man with the plan. So what you guys got to do is you guys got to call American Senior Benefits and you say, oh, hello, is Jason Dugash there? And then they say, yes, he is. And they go, we need him now. And then they'll send him to you and he will give you the best plans that you could possibly imagine at the best prices. So get a hold of Jason Dugash at American Senior Benefits. Another place I want to mention is Madson's Bowling and Billiards and EJ's Lounge. Guys, this is not your mama's Madson's. It's got the essence of the place there, but there is young and hungry management there. There is, it's still in the family, but they are doing amazing things there. And one of the amazing things they're doing is the Madson's Halloween party. That's right, the Madness at Madson's Halloween party. It is going to be off the charts. We have to talk about it right now. What is going on there? I'm so glad you asked, Fred the Skeleton. There's going to be Rico's Pass, which is going to be amazing with some live music. Get some live metal going on there. There's going to be karaoke with Kane or myself, depending on which version of us decides to come out. But we'll be there. We'll be there with Mr. Chill. We'll have a costume contest, which is going to be amazing with prizes giveaways, all sorts of stuff. The best food in town, food specials, drink specials. Not only that, but they're going to have bowling going on. You can rent a lane for a very good price, and we'll have karaoke and live music on the lanes. There's also going to be a boatload of other things happening. I mean, you can also play pool all night, which is awesome, and you can enjoy. This is free admission. This is just go there. This is the biggest party in any building that we've ever seen. I'm talking ever in our lives. And I mean, this one rivals the Pinnacle. This one rivals the old Pershing. I mean, this is a huge party, everybody. It's a Scratch the Vinyl event. There's going to be live podcasting with us. We're going to be interviewing people. We're going to be getting people all riled up. And of course, you know, your boy El Podcastico is going to be making the big appearance there. So I challenge you, that's right, you Scratchaholics, to get out there and help us to have Scratchamania run wild on Madson's on Halloween night. We'll see you guys there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate all of you. We will catch you next week, and we'll do it here on Scratch the Vinyl.